This weekend, the WWE is to Perth, Australia for their annual Elimination Chamber show. It's just the last premium live event before WrestleMania 40. And right here on the Flex Zone podcast, along with Last Week in Wrestling podcast, Kicking It with Leo and my boy Wolf. We're going to be breaking down the Elimination Chamber 2024 edition, giving you our opinions of how we will book it and how it may actually play out. We're going to talk about it all, engage and embrace debate. It's the Flex Zone podcast. Who booked it? The Elimination Chamber edition. Ooh, but you don't got to be up at 5 a.m. to watch us. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. We're going to get it going. We're going to get it cracking right now on the Flex Zone podcast. God's favorite host, Elimination Chamber weekend. Let's get right to it. Let's not talk any longer. You already know who I am. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, super kick it, like a bomb it, backdrop it. I'm going to kick things off first and foremost. I'm going to start things off. I'm going to bring up my guy, Julia Hart's number one fan, as my boy Dylan calls him. You can check out his channel at Wolferus. We call him Wolf, not like the lone Baron Corbin. But here is his channel. Make sure you click it. I'm going to bring him up. Put your hands together for the one and only Wolf, everybody.
Hi.
What's up, Wolf? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm here getting by.
Let's get to it. He is the official Flex Zone statistician. He's always shilling over someone. He's going to continue doing it tonight, as he is Mr. 25-8 when it comes to wrestling, because that's all he watches. My boy, my brother. You can check out his channel at Kicking It with Leo. Put those hands together. One and only Leo is in the building. Kicking It with Leo. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, everybody?
How you feeling, Leo?
Hey, I'm feeling good. I mean, it's a big week. I'm excited. I mean, the time change is just a little hard to get over, but I'm dealing with it nonetheless.
Last but not least, you can check us out. We're usually over there every week for AEW. You can check out his channel at the Last Week in Wrestling podcast, the number one, the tribal chief of podcasts, not only in Long Island, but in New York City. That's right. I said it. It is my boy. It is my brother. It is your man's. Let's give it up for the one, the only. Dylan is in the building. Last Week in Wrestling podcast.
Well, them ones up, baby. Absolutely. There it is. There it is. I love it.
That, see?
Listen. I'm so glad. There it is. How's everybody doing, man? I'm so happy to be here. Finally doing it the right way instead of just phoning in from a pay-per-view, phoning in from across the world. You know me, being a world traveler and all, always be somewhere. But I'm so happy to be here finally, of course, working with one of the best in the business, God's favorite, absolutely host, Mr. Byron from the Flex Zone. And, of course, these two knuckleheads, the Pirates, over here down below as well, hanging out each and every week with us, doing something wild. But very excited, very excited.
Well, let's get to it, Dylan. I'm going to start with you, man. Elimination Chamber. How are you feeling about the event overall, and what's your excitement level? We're a few days away.
Honestly, I'm about 50-50 kind of with it. I feel like where we're at now, it's more of a what are we doing with the women story compared to what we're doing with the men's chamber. I feel with the men's chamber right now, it's kind of set in stone. We kind of know who's winning with the fact that all of the people in the chamber are from SmackDown and Drew's the only one from Raw, and this is for a Raw title. This is for, of course, Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. So it seems like it's a very obvious answer of who's actually winning it. But for the women, I don't really know. You know, there's a lot of great challengers in there now, having, of course, Raquel Rodriguez back after last night's showing. definitely puts a lot more of a who's who, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca in there, of course, Leo's favorite, Becky Lynch, and everything. And hopefully we're going to see some craziness from, of course, Liv Morgan. But I don't know. I feel like that's more of what we're going to see and what we're going to actually do with the women more than what we're going to be doing with the men, because the rest of the show looks okay. Um, I'm not as hyped as I am for the men's, but the women's I'm more excited for sure.
Let's go to Leo, man. How you feeling about this event?
I mean, I feel like it has the ability to be a good show. I think W has definitely improved and kind of changed the fans' expectations when they go into these B level pay per views. As far as the excitement, uh, I do think I know a lot of people have been saying it's gonna be predictable. Honestly, I feel like they're knowing, even though it's a B level pay per view, I feel like he's still Triple H is probably gonna throw a little swerve in there, something that we probably won't really expect to happen. I think that's one thing I can see happening for sure.
And Wolf, last but not least, man. Nice background, by the way. Secret
Yeah.
Minds were thinking alike. How you feeling about this event, man? You're gonna be up
Uh,
at 5 a.m.
I don't know if I'll be up for that. I think I'll have to wait until I get some proper sleep and then first thing in the morning watch Chamber. But uh, I don't know. I'll figure that out probably on that night. And as for the card, it's kind of short. I think WWE is forgetting that chambers are not rumbles and will not last an hour long each. um, but I mean, I do like the card. Like the only problem is how short it is. Uh, Even like the chamber matches are stacked, really stacked lineups. Um, the woman chamber is more unpredictable than the men, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Uh, the way, and then even like the other matches, like we have Rhea versus Naya, like they're high on Naya. I'm not excited to see Naya, but I'm sure she'll have the best showing of her since her comeback. Um, and the tag title match. Honestly, I'm excited for that tag title match. That tag title match is gonna be really great. And then we also have the Grayson Waller effect with Cody and Seth. I'm I don't know. Apparently Roman might show up uh, to Perth, and he might bring along The Rock, so we might get more attention between Rock and Roman and Seth and Cody. So I'm really interested to see where this goes.
Well, let's get to it. Let's start there. Let's start with that Grayson Waller effect because I think that is going to be Leo. You kind of talked about a swerve.
Hmm.
We're up at 5 a.m. Triple H is probably going to give us something concerning this Cody and Rock and Roman storyline. We already know it's Roman and Rock and Mania. Excuse me, Roman and Cody at Mania. How do you see this Grayson Waller effect playing out in Grayson Waller in his home country? So you know he's going to be a prick.
I mean, I feel like what they're gonna do is I could see a situation where I know people have been saying maybe Cody. We already know Cody's gonna be facing Roman at Mania. I know people have been wanting to see Rock and Roman there. I don't think they're gonna show, but what I do can see them doing is potentially doing like a via satellite type of scenario where they challenge both Cody and Seth um, for a match at Mania. I think before that, I do think Jimmy and Solo make their
Did you
way
say
down
via
there.
satellite? I'm sorry.
Yeah, via satellite.
No, no.
I
You
mean,
wake
if
me up
they're
at
not
5
gonna,
a.m. for that.
I mean, because I don't think they're probably gonna have them there, but I feel like maybe like a video or something. I don't know, to kind of set things up. But I do think maybe Solo and Jimmy get involved in something that kind of happens there, where we might get an impromptu match. Maybe I don't really know. I possibly can see it. It's just really up to WWE if they want to do something like that to progress the story. But I do think it's going to be a interesting segment as we kind of see some things be planted for Mania this year. So
Dylan, let me go to you, man. Do you care about this Grayson Waller effect? I know you don't care about Cody's story, so. You can let the people know that
No,
too.
no, no. I think this is actually really terrible. To be very honest, I don't think there's a point to have Grayson Waller just have a show when he's in his own home country. I feel like he should be wrestling in some aspect or another, even if it is him and Austin Theory taking on Cody and Seth would have been a lot more of an exciting matchup than just having him come out and doing a show of sorts. So to me, it just seems like we're at a point where either it is because of the fact that he's injured, and that's the reason why we're not getting what we're getting out of Grayson Waller. They don't have something for Grayson Waller. There's not really a story for Grayson Waller, or are we going to get um, maybe a push for him after Elimination Chamber going into WrestleMania? But I mean, there's not many Australian superstars that are wrestling in this show except really Rhea Ripley. Honestly, like that's about it. Nia Jax, in some sense, I believe she's from Australia as well. Um, yeah, there's not really much here for Australia to feel like their hometown is really, you know, displaying and representing them. So I feel like that's a big L that WWE is taking. But I know there's a lot more of the story aspect of trying to play with the two chambers and the tag match, and of course the Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax match as well. So hopefully this Grayson Waller thing is a quick segment and we can kind of get on to the actual show. And I hope that it doesn't lead to the Rock Roman versus Cody Seth tag team that everybody's trying to shoot down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to count that either. Wolf, are you excited for Grayson Waller, your boy? Poor man's
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
So this is kind of difficult to think about. Because they could do so many options. They could do an impromptu match between Roman and Rock and Seth and Cody, like right there at Perth. They could set it up for Mania. They could have Solo and Jimmy come. Uh, what I think I would find interesting is Rock. They play into Rock being on the board, and they do it where like technically the Rock is Grayson, well, and everyone else's, but more so Grayson's boss, and Grayson decides to listen to the Rock, and it sets up an impromptu match between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on at that spot. Like after they do a little bit of jumping Cody and Seth. Um, and then maybe end that with Solo coming in and jumping Cody after the match or something like that.
Real quick, yes or no, Wolf, and I'll just swing it to everybody else. Cody, does he finish the story at Mania, or is it more to this Rock and the Bloodline thing?
I say Cody finishes the story, and there's more to Rock and Roman. I say Rock costs Roman Reigns the title at WrestleMania and sets up
Sorry.
next year basically or until Saudi or whatever. But
Dylan, do you feel the same? I mean, kind of feels like they're just booking it as they go.
This is a spoiler, as Paul Heyman would say, but Cody's not finishing this year. I don't believe it. I don't believe that they're going to give him what we've already been asking for since last year. I feel like now that The Rock has been introduced, there's going to be a couple other directions they're going to try to do. And I feel like, with, of course, everything drama related with WWE, with Vince, I feel like they're trying to erase Vince history. So having possibly Roman dethroning Hulk Hogan's reign as champion, and of course, really eliminating that might be one of their things that they try to do before having Roman step down and take that long vacation that we all know is going to happen. I don't see Roman dropping it till maybe SummerSlam of this year. But I don't think Cody's winning WrestleMania 39 at all.
I just want to say I really don't like this idea of Roman has to beat Hogan's record. No, he doesn't. He really doesn't.
I don't believe it either. I don't agree with it either.
Really, the thing is, like, this is just another like record that people will like use it to justify, and then like what? Also, he doesn't pass Hogan's record until at like September, until after Berlin. Um, so like
Yeah,
there's
it would be
so
after
that means even
SummerSlam
if he
and
drops
after.
it at SummerSlam, then there was no reason not to drop it at Mania. Um, it's just it feels like it will be a never ending like another record like because then after he beats Hogan, what we're gonna go? Oh, he has to go past 1,500 days, then 1,600 days, then 4 years, then basically
Reign that never
there would be at that rate like that we keep on going with like breaking records to the point that you might as well just have him break Bruno Sammartino's record at that point if you're just going to keep pushing records to use it to justify. Nobody cares about Hogan's reign, the record. No one. Like the Hogan will always be in history, and like whether we like it or not, like I don't like Hogan, but like he's gonna be in the books, like whether we like it or not. Like there's no point, like there's no need for it. It's just going to cause problems. It's not going to bring the company forward. And
good.
like
Man.
Cody is, honestly, Cody is the face of WWE, the uncrowned face of WWE. So
No, and I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I just feel like where we're at now, we've come so far with it that having him drop it now, I feel like is kind of pointless. If he was just going to drop it at 39, would have made it better. Because for me, it's Cody's story last year at 39. Having him finish then doing it now just because we're at WrestleMania 40 seems more pointless with the talent that we have. Cody can have great feuds even as champion now, yes, but there was a lot more on the table with feuds and matches and actual storylines for him, including with the Bloodline last year. So to me, it makes no sense for them to drop it now to him at 40 after The Rock comes back in the picture. Now that he's playing this Hollywood Rock heel, now he's trying to kind of contradict himself on what is really going to be happening, sending out all these innuendos and possibilities of different things that could be happening. So for me, it's just like there's going to be those people that are like, no, it's happening at 40. Yes, I hope it happens so that way this horrific story is finally done and told and over so we could get to that actual next chapter and move on from this godforsaken story. But honestly, there's not that much momentum to Cody's story now than there once was last year. And with all the misdirection that they gave Cody last year, going after Brock with no real reason, having him poured over to Raw, having bring Jey Uso, which is still a part of this whole bloodline situation, having Jey become tag team champions for a while. Of course, Jimmy costing them that opportunity, setting up this Jey Jimmy feud that we have now happening. There's more to do with Cody in this bloodline story than just this simple, easy answer of he dethrones Roman at WrestleMania 40, and that's it. It's not going to end that easily, even if it does happen that way. There's still going to be the rest of the bloodline that Cody's going to have to answer to, but that just precedes the point of why bother then having Roman drop it? Because if the bloodline's still going to be involved in Cody's future as a champion, just wait till that bloodline story is over before letting Cody actually become champion and is officially done with this bloodline story.
The reason I would have
Let me get Leon real quick. Let me get Leon. Go ahead. Go ahead. How you feel, man?
I could see what everyone's saying. I feel like there is some, pros to each one. I think, the thing is, I'm one of those guys that I feel like I'm gonna say Cody does finish it. You never know what can happen in WWE. I just feel like if they don't give him the reign or give him the title, then I feel like it becomes a waste of everybody's time because it's like you've been building up this story since he's coming back to get this championship for like what 2 years now, and they've been building it up. And he came close last year, but was screwed over. He got screwed over last night, and the same scenario that happened at WrestleMania 39, which I'm pretty sure gave a lot of fans PTSD, myself included. But I feel like the thing is, if you don't give him the title, I think the way it seems to me, I might be the only one that might be in this situation. Is I feel like it's now or never. Because if I feel like if you don't give him the championship now, I don't see them possibly running it back in the future. I really don't. The only other way I could see them getting him on one more final crack at the title is if some way, somehow, he finds himself into that Money in the Bank ladder match later this year and he wins that and cashes in. That's the only other way I can see him winning that title. But the thing, like Wolf was saying, is like if he doesn't, for him to break the Hulk Hogan reign, he has to, literally hold that championship till like September time. So
at least.
post SummerSlam and post Bash of Berlin. So I feel like just get the story over with. I mean, his story is pretty much trying to take that title. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some things that happen. Maybe the way it's seeming to be played up, Cody's gonna have to get him some help. I could see him using Seth. He can use Jay, maybe Randy. I know people have been throwing the argument of Stone Cold to kind of be on his side to kind of go up against Rock. I guess, but I think his father has some type of history when it comes to Philadelphia. If we don't, I'm not too sure on that, but his father does have like a lot of history in Philadelphia and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a great moment. I think the crowd will erupt for sure. I mean, you can't. I feel like they gotta go with it. I mean, you gotta go with it. Just pull the trigger. I feel like regardless of what happens, I know Wolf was saying he's definitely trying to take that title to where he is in that conversation. And I feel like if you really think about it, he's already in that conversation because regardless of how you put it, he's still going to be in the top three greatest, longest reigning champions of all time. It's going to be Bruno Sammartino, because if I don't see him breaking that reign, like that's like 10,000 days. He would have to literally hold for 8 more years, and I don't see that happen. They ain't doing that. He could still be behind the Hulk Hogan. That's two, and then Roman's right there at three. He's still in that GOAT category. Regardless, I know even when he first won the title, that's what they wanted. They wanted him to become the greatest champion, and I feel like they have accomplished that. So I do think, with the story being told here, they got to give him the win here. They got to give Cody that win.
Wolf, I'll give you the last word before we get into the other matches.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't. There really is no point. Like the thing is, I think the story between Cody and the bloodline story and the Cody story have been becoming intertwined again, but they are not necessarily the same thing. The thing is, with Rock saying Cody's story is ending, meanwhile the story between me and Roman Reigns is just beginning. I think they are going to diverge the Cody story and the bloodline story. So that's why I think Cody is going to finish his story and the bloodline story is going to keep going, which might be why back at WrestleMania 39, Paul Heyman said we're only at the bottom of the third inning or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean he was probably talking about not necessarily Roman's reign as champion, but the story that involves the bloodline. And I think the best way to continue that bloodline story is having Rock uh, and Roman continue feuding, potentially even if it means turning Roman face to fight a heel Rock, and maybe do more bloodline civil war things with and bring in Jacob Fatu and Zilla to possibly join up with Jay or The Rock or Roman. Like, it could go in any type of way. I think that is how you could expand this bloodline story without necessarily bringing down Cody, because like Cody is right now that he has done so much for WWE. Like, it makes no sense not to crown Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. Otherwise, we might as well just effectively, like, without officially doing it, retire the WWE Championship and have Roman be the last champion. Like that. Like, there's
I
no
think
reason.
that's a little outlandish, to be honest.
Well,
And I
like,
don't think
if
Zilla
we-
Fatu is coming
if we
either.
never drop it, then basically Roman is staying champ forever. So like,
It's very convoluted, as I've told Dylan and I've said personally to myself. It's because if you put Rock in you just put Rock in the bloodline. So what you're gonna have him leave the bloodline in 2 months? That's dumb. You can't have Cody lose again because then we're not gonna care. And then if you have Cody win with the Rock's help, how weak does Cody look? I mean, it's so many. It's kind of like they booked themselves into a corner. But we got
Yeah.
plenty more time to talk about that because we know that'll be your Mania match. Let's start low. Let's go a little softball. We got the tag team championship match, Judgment Day against New Catch Republic. Don't know why they changed their name. I mean, I'm
Name,
okay
not
with the
name.
match. Leo, I'm gonna start with you real quick. How would you have booked this differently? How do you see this match playing out? I mean, I think it's safe to say
Uh,
Judgment Day probably is going to keep their belts though.
Yeah, Judgment Day is definitely retaining here. Like, I love them. I love Tyler Bate. I love Pete Dunne. They're definitely some hard hitters. I think this is gonna be a hard hitting yet entertaining match. I just don't think they're gonna win the tag titles here. I think maybe Dominic and JD might get involved here, and you got the Judgment Day retaining. Because I feel like the story that they've been telling is probably going to be Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth for the tag titles come Mania. I think that's the story that they're going to be building going into Mania. Me personally, I kind of it kind of sucks that literally they've been building them up only to give them a loss when it really matters the most. Me personally, I just would have put DIY in this situation only because they already lost before. So if they lose again, it is what it is. But keep them like keep whatever they call themselves, the whatever you call them. What you call them?
Now it's New Catch Republic.
The
Apparently,
New
I like
Catch
British
Republic.
strong style.
Yeah, I guess the only reason why they couldn't call them that because Trent Seven's in TNA, so they probably can't use that name. But I would have kept them looking strong and let them do some other stuff and build them up to be a potential threat for the tag titles post Mania or something like that. Because, but I would keep the match the same. I think it's gonna end with Judgment Day interference and Judgment Day picks up the victory from that way.
Dylan, are you excited to watch this match?
No, no. Unfortunately, I'm not. I think that yeah, One Republic, whatever the hell we're calling Brutus, and the other guy, they're losing. Unfortunately, I'm kind of curious why they're not building up the Miz and Truth story more and having them be the ones in this one instead. But I don't, yeah, unfortunately, I don't see New Catch Republic picking up the victory here. I think the Judgment Day are definitely going to play to the crowd and, of course, be heels. Definitely play dirty. Probably have Dominic Mysterio and JD at ringside to help them retain the win. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be as. I think it's going to be a good match overall. I'm excited for Pete Dunne to have a big pay-per-view moment, but it's going to be a big L moment for Pete Dunne.
Wolf, how you feeling?
Well, the thing is, I mean, yes, obviously the Judgment Day is retaining, I am happy, of course, that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate have a pay per view match together. Like Tyler Bate being on I think this is Tyler. This is like the first pay per view that Tyler Bate like could like truly be a part of without like ever since he got called up. Because I mean, I think he missed the Rumble, but otherwise, like Chamber's still pretty big. And after him being in NXT for a decade, uh, thank God that he's got like he's in a big audience. In Australia is like is almost WrestleMania size, at least WrestleMania size. Um, so I am happy. I definitely think this will be a very uh, good match because of how good Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are, and of course Balor and Priest as champions. This is going to be like I think this is kind of a sleeper match. People like don't expect much at first, and once they watch it, they're like, "Oh my god, this is actually a really good match." Uh, so the thing is, to answer Dylan of why are they not really building up Miz and Truth versus Judgment Day and why they're not doing it now. Mania. That's why. Awesome Truth versus
Yeah, but
Judgment
that's
Day.
silly. They could be doing it now at
I,
Elimination Chamber
yeah, I
and
think
still
what
have a
they're
Mania match as a rematch.
I mean, I think honestly, I think uh, Truth and Miz do get involved and do deal with Dominic and JD. However, I do think Judgment Day end up getting the win either by roll up or just straight up clean. Uh, but I think they're going to plant more seeds for Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day at Mania, uh, like here tonight, not tonight, Saturday.
Yeah, I think it'll be a sleeper match, Wolf. I do agree, but Judgment Day losing those belts to Mania. But like Dylan said, can they keep the R-Truth story hot? But I have faith in R-Truth, so we'll see. We'll see how they
Mhm.
play it out. Um, where do we want to go? I want to save the big argument. I'm gonna build up to it. We're not just going to give it away in one match like Tony Khan. We're going to make you wait for it. Let's go to the men's chamber. Let's go to the men's chamber. This is a star-studded match. Dylan, I'm gonna start with you. We all want Drew, who's doing the best work of his career. How do you see this playing out? I mean, because you got Logan Paul in here, you got Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, who seems like a weird addition in my opinion because he hasn't done anything lately. Who do you have winning, and would you maybe change the participants? Because we know WWE is going to give you at least two chamber matches because they only do this once a year.
Yeah, no, I definitely would be changing too for sure. Kevin Owens out immediately. Dominic Mysterio in 100%. The other person I would put in here is I would be putting in Gable, and I would probably be taking out Bobby Lashley. Bobby has enough going on with AOP and everything, so they could be doing a lot more work for that. Kevin Owens doesn't need this opportunity. He's already been champion of this caliber prior. He's, in my opinion, hasn't really been as hot as he once was for some time now. He wasn't that exciting as a tag team champion. That might be a real big hot take. But yeah, I would say Dominic deserves this opportunity a lot more because at least with the caliber of people that he's working with, Randy, Drew, LA Knight, Logan Paul, there's a lot more matches that could come and actually give Dominic Mysterio a push in the singles division. Even if he does lose or eliminated between the first or second slot, I didn't think he was going to last maybe longer than that. I mean, hell, if he was the final three, great. But I don't think he was going to last longer than two tops. Um, I would have had Dom at least show us what he had to offer before getting him eliminated and setting up good matches for his actual singles career going forward. And for Gable, I mean, we watched it last night with Ivar. We've seen it with Gunther for the IC belt numerous times. We've seen him in tag team action. I don't think we all would disagree with saying that Chad Gable is probably one of the most underrated tag team people right now in Raw for WWE. I've been more and more of a Chad Gable fan as the time has gone on, and his WrestleMania debut last year at WrestleMania 39, picking up not one but two at the same time, was impressive. So the man can wrestle. I mean, he's an uh, Olympian as well. So it just makes more sense to have more Raw guys and have an actual even elimination chamber than all SmackDown and one Raw. This seems like a very easy choice to have Drew as the winner. I mean, they could swerve us and give it to something like LA Knight or Logan Paul, but I don't really think they're gonna go that crazy again or do LA Knight dirty again like they have been.
All right. Leo, how you feel about it, man? You going with Drew as well? Anybody you would take out or put in? I like the
Uh,
Dominic thing. That's pretty
I
different.
would take out Kevin. I would replace him with Dominic. I would replace Bobby Lashley with a returning Ricochet. I would put Ricochet in here. Ooh, I wanted to put Chad Gable in here because I think that would have been a great fit for him because he would have a lot of great interactions. But I'm putting Ricochet here for the simple fact that he does have history with Logan Paul going back to the summer. I think there's still. I feel like they kind of left it on a cliffhanger. I feel like there's still an opportunity, an opening where they could pick up at some point in the future. I don't know if they will, but I feel like the way that they left things off, I do think they left on a cliffhanger. Um, I would have him in here. Dominic, somebody I see as being a future world champion in the making. Somebody that I think they really should be trying everything in their power to do to elevate him to the next level because he recently just signed another 5-year deal with the WWE, which I feel like they need to capitalize on his hard work and his dedication to the company by rewarding that and putting him in a high profile spot. Like you think about it, you putting them in there with the likes of a Randy Orton and the likes of a Drew McIntyre and the likes of LA Knight and even Logan Paul, even like both of them are like I would consider like the top heels in the WWE right now. Like just imagine what they can probably cook up together as being like this type of alliance going on in the chamber match, trying to eliminate everybody. And then when it comes down to hopefully being the final two, then it's every man for themselves. I would love to see that dynamic, but unfortunately, it wasn't the case. But I'm still gonna keep them in there. But I do think, regardless of however you put it, I do think Drew McIntyre is gonna win because if you really think about the lineup, everybody is from SmackDown, and he's the only one representing Raw. So it only makes sense that he does win. I feel like if you really wanted to make a hot take, I feel like the men's is more predictable than the women's will be.
I agree. I agree. I actually do agree with that. And Leo, thank you for that. Wolf, are you feeling the same? I'm saving the women's matches for last for a
All
particular
right.
reason.
So the thing is, I I'll be honest. I do like Dominic. I've always liked Dominic, and I do just enjoy him. I definitely can understand why he's not in this chamber because, like, just I mean, having all these big names, I don't know. I don't want to see Dominic as like a punching bag. I would wait. He's in
What?
the.
A
Do you
I wouldn't say
punching
he's a
bag?
punching bag.
Drew
I'm
A
thinking Raw.
McIntyre and
punching
Randy
bag?
Orton.
A
Drew
This guy,
McIntyre
punching
and Randy
bag?
Orton, they will
He,
kill him.
no, he's
no,
not. This is the
dude.
same guy.
Seeing him frog splash off of a pod, seeing what Ricochet did
I
last year at
yeah,
Elimination Chamber with
I think
Gargano and Seth Rollins
I
type of
would
stuff.
have
Are you
I
kidding?
definitely think they need to spend
A punching bag?
a little
He wouldn't be a punching
as of
bag.
right now. I think Dominic can have a little more work, maybe go more not exactly world champion yet. I think that they need to start that process because I don't know, it just wouldn't necessarily be believable. I feel like he'd be there just for all of Australia to boo him, and I think he needs more work, which I'm sure he'll get it. I'm certain he will get it.
He's just like me,
If anything,
Dylan.
I think no, Dylan, please. If anything, I think it would have been more reasonable. I think it would be understandable, like to see possibly that qualifier be Kevin Owens versus Ricochet, and Ricochet would get the win. The thing is, I definitely agree on Kevin. Didn't necessarily need to be there. I definitely think Ricochet could have been there. I'm not hating on Dom. I'm saying I think he needs a little
Tell
more
me why
work.
Randy deserves to be in there, but not Chad Gable or Ricochet.
What?
Why does Randy deserve the opportunity before Ricochet or Gable?
It's Randy. Randy Orton
Who
literally.
gives a shit? It's Randy Orton. Who cares that it's Randy Orton?
Randy
It could have been
Dominic.
John Cena. I still would have said the same thing.
You do
Randy
realize
doesn't just because it's Randy Orton doesn't mean that he gets an opportunity like that. That's like Charlotte Flair when she just comes back from an injury. She just gets an opportunity for the women's championship. That's not how that goes. There's more talented people that are definitely hotter right now that could be getting a great look and a good push going into a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity down the road. Dominic Mysterio is definitely one of them. He held a very good NXT Championship title for quite some time. He did well. He was well received.
Well, yes,
Not many people thought he was actually going to be a good champion.
But that was literally that was an NXT mid-card title.
Doesn't matter.
Compared to a main roster world title.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't say he was going to win. I never said
NXT's
he would
a part
win
of
the world
WWE.
title.
Who cares?
I said Dominic is a future world champion. This is a guy that you legitimately should be trying to build your company around.
Could see Dominic.
Randy should be out of there. Bobby should be out of there.
So let me ask you all
Ricochet should be in there.
all this.
I definitely think it was
Bobby should
weird
be
to
out,
put
Randy should be out,
Randy
Kevin Owens
versus
should be
Sammy
out.
in that qualifier, but Randy makes sense to be in the chamber because he is already a world champion level.
He's a part of the bloodline.
What? No,
he's a part of the bloodline story. He still has to get his licks back at both Jay and Jimmy. What are you talking about?
And he got to get his
no, Jay. No, Jay's cool with Jay now. But the thing is, he's already lost to Roman right now. Randy.
He's lost to Roman. He still got his ass beat by Jimmy. He still got his ass beat by Solo.
No, he's beaten Jimmy. He
still has to beat Solo and Jimmy. He still has to go after Roman Reigns.
He's beaten Solo.
He's beaten Solo. Beaten
Jimmy. The only person is not being is Roman Reigns.
Doesn't need to be in it. Kevin Owens don't need to be in it.
Kevin Owens is still.
I definitely think
Kevin Owens is still dealing with the injury, if I'm not mistaken. He's still dealing with
Chad Gable, Ricochet, Dominic Mysterio should be in there. Not Randy.
I definitely have Drew. I think the final two will be Drew and Randy because of their history. I think Ricochet definitely could have been in there because what's it called? The thing is, it would have been really interesting because at one point we were supposed to get Seth versus Ricochet for a World Heavyweight Championship match on some Raw, but Nakamura came in and what's it called? Ended up fighting Ricochet. Ricochet got injured. We never really got to see that. I definitely think Ricochet could have been at least a contender for that. And honestly, like Ricochet, like it would have been interesting to see Ricochet, especially with the history with Logan Paul. Even like his previous feud, mini feud really with LA Knight. But like it would have been interesting. I definitely have Drew winning. I am definitely just satisfied with this match, but yeah, Drew, Randy will probably be the last two because of their history. Drew will probably do some weird, dirty thing. I'm sorry, it's just that's probably what's gonna happen.
It's Randy fucking Orton. Who gives a shit?
Oh my god!
Who cares, dude? Who cares? There's so many other people that are wrestling that deserve it
Randy,
Why don't they get an
literally, it
opportunity?
makes sense that
Why did
Randy
he
must
not?
go
Why
for
does
World
Bobby have to be a part of
Championship.
this?
He's not gonna win, but
Why did
I would have had
Randy have to be a
Sammy
part
beat
of this?
Randy. I would
I
have
do
had
agree
Sammy
with
beat
the
Randy.
I
do
would
agree
have
with the
loved to see
Bobby
Sammy
Lashley.
in the chamber, but they are redoing this NXT run, which I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever. I can live with it.
So then you're okay if people then from WWE
Look,
go to NXT, become champions, and have good reigns and actually represent NXT on a main show, then, right?
Sure, but like, and
So then why
do
isn't Dominic
understand
Mysterio
a
then
North
not in the set?
American. Do understand a North American title reign is not the same as
It's somewhat
as
equivalent
a
to an
World Heavyweight
Intercontinental
Championship.
Championship.
Like
It's somewhat
he will
equivalent to
get
an
his time.
Intercontinental Championship.
Dominic will get his time, but right now, I think I would have him work with people like whoever ultimately dethrones Gunther, because obviously I don't think. I think Gunther definitely needs to drop that belt soon, but eventually, but and go for a world title. But whoever dethrones Gunther, I think Dominic could work well with them, and then work his way up to ultimately getting that full satisfaction of earning that world title. And I don't know. I think I don't want to rush it right now with
It's not
Dominic.
a rush. I know Dominic's losing, but at least he had potential feuds and matches, and he can start working his way
so
to
let
at
me
least
ask you
the
this,
mid
Dylan.
card.
We were supposed to get Brock Lesnar versus Dominic. Would you have liked to see that match? That was the original plan.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
and
I
to
actually
an
would have liked it
extent.
personally.
I think we were also supposed to get Braun versus Dominic, but Braun's on SmackDown now, and I'm like, oh, okay, things just.
Yeah, it feels like they're booking a lot of things on the fly. But I do know.
The
Go
thing
ahead,
is,
Will.
something really interesting that I find from this chamber match that could happen at Mania. I'm trying to look at the bright side of this lineup. There is two names that actually have never gone one-on-one on a pay-per-view before, and I think would make honestly a good WrestleMania match, and
You
that
say
is
Randy Orton, I'm gonna fight you in real life.
it is Randy Orton.
I'm gonna fight you.
It's not for a title or anything. It's just a good match. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens has never happened. 1-on-1 has never happened on a
It
paper
actually happened on Raw.
I'll go record it right
on
now on
pay-per-view on
2K23.
It happened on Raw.
on pay-per-view. I meant.
Well,
I'll
let's
go record it on Raw. I'll go record it right now on 2K23 for you.
well let's bring up a woman that Dylan loves. When Dylan sees her, these are the words that he utters. No, we're
PTO.
not talking about mommy. We're talking about Nia Snorlax Jax.
Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
So how do you see this match playing out? I mean,
Absolute disaster. She's eating 2 steak sandwiches before coming out. Just first and foremost. Meat. Absolutely. It's going to be a meaty mashup for sure, and it's all Nia Jax. No, I think this match is going to go one of two ways. Either Rhea is going to be able to neutralize Godzilla quick and easy by taking out some of the layers with some good chops and some kendo chops and whatnot. But no, in all honesty, I think Rhea's walking out as champion. There's no way in God's green earth they're going to let Nia Jax, Samsung Refrigerator, aka PTO, going to have her get demolished and squished upon at Australia to lose, to then set up what, Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Like if Liv Morgan wins Chamber and then it's Nia Jax at WrestleMania 40 and it's Liv and Nia Jax, just tell Liv Morgan to take the rest of the year off. Like don't even bother, because she's going to be absolutely pancaked by Nia Jax the moment she enters that ring. So like there's no chance for her. But I don't think that there's like a way in God's green earth for Nia Jax to win here at all. I think we're going to hear "Oh My Hole" come out of her mouth one more time, and then probably a riptide that's going to probably cause a tsunami in Australia, and then probably a nice victory before WWE comes back to the States. But no, I got Rhea. I got Rio definitely walking out of there as champion for sure.
This should be pretty
Shout out to
easy.
catering.
The fun match is coming up. That lasts for a reason. But Leo, I mean, are you excited about this match? Would you have Rhea against someone else?
I say Rhea versus Nia. It makes sense. I mean, you have two of the most dominant women in the division right now. You have Nia Jax pretty much being undefeated since she's come back. You have Rhea Ripley, who's been on a tear as women's champion, even though she really doesn't defend it all that often. But one thing I've noticed, she hasn't really been seen with the Judgment Day as of late. It seems like she's kind of been on her own, kind of doing her own thing as of late. That's something I've picked up. But I do think that story that they're building is Rhea able going to actually be able to execute that Riptide. I do think that's going to be a situation where it's going to happen. That's the story that they're going to be trying to build throughout the match until she ultimately does pick up that victory. I do see maybe Nia Jax getting involved in the chamber, possibly setting something up with one of the competitors in there. I can see something like along the lines of that happening.
Well,
Setting
like
up something.
mistaking it for a deli.
No, Nia Jax pretty much setting up her Mania match because I don't know. I feel like she's probably gonna do something at Mania. I don't see her doing like any of the tag team stuff really. So I think she's gonna get involved and probably set up a potential match at Mania for whoever she decides to target.
Wolf, I
Uh,
told you guys this match was happening.
yeah.
It should be
makes
Becky and
sense.
Rhea at Elimination Chamber.
It makes sense because you wouldn't have Rhea be. You needed a bigger heel against Rhea in Perth. There's no way they're gonna be booing Rhea. So who better to like boo than Nia Jax? Especially since no one likes her. I'll be honest. I am not excited. I'm the only excitement I have for this match is for Rhea. It's not for Nia. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the best match Nia has since she came back to WWE. Similar to how Trish versus Becky in that steel cage was the best for since Trish actually came back in a proper run. But yeah, I'm still like not caring about Nia, her potentially screaming my hole again and trying to sit on Rhea after eating a fridge.
She's gonna mistake the Elimination Chamber for a deli and walk in, place an order.
She's gonna try sitting on the entire chamber. Not the people in the chamber, the actual chamber. Anyway,
So we all agree that Rhea's walking in the main
Rhea
event.
is definitely
Rhea
walking
retains, Rhea
out
retains.
as champion.
All right, let's get to the main event. I've been waiting all day. I love to hold you guys up and make you guys weep. We're gonna have Wi-Fi. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, I'm here. All right, Wi-Fi was acting up.
Becky and Rhea for Chamber, not Nia.
No, Dylan, we're getting it at me.
No, he was saying that's what he was replacing.
Well, you know,
That's what I
we're
would
getting,
rather have.
I would
we're
have done
getting, we're
that,
getting it at Mania.
but it's okay.
I'll
I
let
think it
these-
makes sense.
Don't
I'll
say
let
it too
these guys
loudly; I
go.
might start freaking out.
We got the
He already
women's-
said it.
The women's elimination chamber match. I'm intrigued where
Let
they're going to
Leo
put
go
this
first.
match. I will let Leo go first. Now that you say that, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Raquel Rodriguez, maybe the most stacked women's chamber in recent memory, maybe ever. Leo, how would you, if you did book it different? Are you cool with the competitors? Raquel's back. I'm happy to see her back. And who do you have winning with your booking? And who do you think actually wins?
I think the lineup is good. I think this has the potential to be the very best elimination chamber match as far as competitor wise. Since we've first had the elimination chamber match for the women, I think this is definitely going to be interesting. You got Tiffany Stratton in there looking to make a name for herself. I mean, they've kind of been positioning her very strongly since she's came out to the main roster, which I'm very excited for. I do think that she's definitely going to have something big in store for her in the match. I don't think she's winning, but I do think her big moment will be her hitting that moonsault off a pod or something. I think that will be a great moment for her, is hitting up that. Bianca, she has won the chamber before. She's definitely looking to kind of get back to that main event spot. Me personally, I don't think she's gonna win either. I said this earlier. I think maybe Jade Cargill possibly plays a factor in why she doesn't win or gets distracted. Maybe. But at the same time, I kind of think with the kind of how I feel like, I don't know how far she is in her progression as a singles competitor. And if you want to have her and be involved in Mania and something somewhat important, maybe we have Bianca and Jade team up and have them go after the tag titles, and you have that slow build between the two, and then you get to like a match between Bianca and Jade, maybe at a SummerSlam, or even if you're able to, maybe make it at next year's WrestleMania. I think that would be kind of interesting. I mean, imagine if Jade Cargill wins the Royal Rumble next year. I think that would be something people can probably get behind, depending on how her booking is. You got Naomi in here. She's looking to become champion again. She became champion actually at Elimination Chamber in 2017. She won the SmackDown Women's Championship. You got Raquel in here. She's going to definitely be a powerhouse in this match. Becky looking to try to weasel her way into fighting Becky, which I don't really care for. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want people coming on here thinking I hate Becky. I don't hate Becky. I just feel like she's had her
You strongly
opportunity.
hate Becky.
I don't hate Becky. I really don't. I just feel like if you think about it, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm pretty sure Dylan might not like it. Byron, everybody's has their opinions. I just feel like the thing I don't like is the simple fact as you literally had all these pretty much interactions, right? We've been seeing some interactions with them. We cannot sit up here and call that a story when all they did was have interactions. Over the last few weeks, what has she been doing? She's pretty much her promo she literally had with Rhea Ripley. What did she say? I think you're better than me, but I need to prove that I'm better than you. There's nothing Becky Lynch needs to prove. She has done everything that there is to do in the WWE as a women's competitor, as a singles wrestler, and as a tag team. She's won the tag team titles. She's won the Royal Rumble. She's main evented WrestleMania and won the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. She's won them even separately. She's won the NXT Women's Championship. She's pretty much been that go-to woman for years now. I really feel like this is an opportunity to help push a new talent who may not have got that WrestleMania big fight field exposure yet. And this kind of goes back to what we've seen on Raw. I mean, who was the only one? I've seen what everybody kept saying, right? The only one, in my personal opinion, that actually came out there and had a legit reason for wanting to win the chamber was Liv. Okay, I see Dylan over there. She's the only one I feel like that had a legit reason to want to fight Rhea Ripley. And I feel like if way it seems like it's playing up, even though Rhea Ripley is going to be a face for just the time being, she's still a quote-unquote heel, right? So I feel like most of the show is going to be very heel heavy. So you need to kind of have a face win. And I feel like with a lot of stuff being predictable, I feel like this is an opportunity to kind of have something shocking where people wouldn't expect it. So me personally, I got Liv Morgan winning. Liv Morgan's winning. Liv Morgan's punching her ticket to WrestleMania.
Oh.
Becky, I feel like Becky's story is really with Nia Jax. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Nia Jax comes in and costs Becky the win. And Liv picks up the victory by hitting an Oblivion to get the win. That's what I feel like is going to happen. So you set up Nia Jax versus Becky because they have some unfinished business going back to Raw. They've been having still promos, even though she's been trying to have something going with Rhea Ripley. I think Becky has her opportunity snatched away from her because Nia Jax gets involved, setting things up for Mania. Maybe you can make it an Extreme Rules match. I don't know. But I do think Liv Morgan has the best story going forward think going into Mania with when it comes down to it on her Rhea. Because if you really think about it, WrestleMania was pretty much been sold out. WrestleMania is already sold out. It was sold out months ago. So people can't really just like, oh, just because Liv's winning, we're not gonna go. Like that's not gonna happen. Like WrestleMania is one of the biggest shows of the year. We already know
True.
Becky is pretty much done everything. So I think let Liv Morgan get her win. This is about to be her 5th time entering the match. So give her a win.
Wolf?
Yeah, honestly, this is really a huge lineup uh for the women's chamber. I'm still like currently like watching how Tiffany Stratton will adjust to the main roster. I personally don't know how she'll be like, because like the last few months in NXT she was kind of like seemingly not main roster level, and I was like, she was good, but like still I was like worried that she'd be kind of outclassed. Her being on SmackDown though is honestly beneficial to her, just with how the rosters are like. Honestly, I could also see Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton being built up for Mania through this match. I think that would be a great Mania match. Regarding who wins, I definitely think Liv should win. There's no reason Becky should face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. They had like 4 or 5 stare downs and like a normal Rumble build up promo. Like it, that like no, that would be a total waste of Liv and Rhea. Like there'd be no point to, like, you could maybe do it like later on as SummerSlam if you like force it to be like Hell in a Cell or something, but I think Mania is just the easiest place to do it with no extra like strings attached. Like you could just do a normal match between Liv and Rhea, even though what they have is worthy of Hell in a Cell in my opinion, or No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
They could do a normal match at Mania and it'd be totally fine. I definitely don't know how Naya would get involved, just because Naya is probably main eventing with Rhea, the pay per view, and I don't know. WWE tends to be weird for that kind of thing. Maybe Becky could cost Naya the match or something to set up that Mania match if it happens, but I definitely agree. Becky has more of a story with Naya, and honestly, I'd be more interested, like more. Uh, I would care more about seeing how Becky versus Naya would play out uh, than Becky versus Rhea. Like, if Becky wins, that's like I wouldn't even have to hear the rest of the women's matches, and I will know for a fact that will be the least exciting women's match of WrestleMania. Because it would be predictable. It would be just lame. I don't care for it. Like, there's nothing behind it. There's no weight like behind it. I definitely think Jade could cost Bianca, or maybe Bianca gets rolled up or something, and then they do after the pay per view they maybe have Jade and Bianca teaming up, because honestly I would love to see Jade as a face, because we had a lot of her as a heel in AEW. I would be really intrigued how she plays being a face. Uh, Raquel, I'm happy she's back, and I'm definitely interested to see how the interactions between Liv and Raquel in the chamber would
I'll
be.
tell you.
But I definitely think she doesn't need the win. We've already seen Raquel versus Rhea on a pay per view. It was decent, but we don't need to see it again.
It
So
was trash, but it's okay. Dylan, let's get you
it
in.
was fine.
Well, I guess I'm going to be the bad guy here.
Of course he is.
It's
I've
hard.
been telling
I
you
I was all for Liv. I really am. I think it makes more sense. The story's there. Everything to what you both said, 100%. I'm not choosing Becky. I'll say that right now, clear as day. I'm not choosing Bianca. I'm not choosing Tiffany or Naomi. I'm choosing Raquel. I think with everything that has been set up with Raquel and Rhea prior to Raquel leaving and them setting up a possible third match, this is that possibility of it happening, and it could happen at WrestleMania. Do I think that Liv could make it a triple threat at Mania? Absolutely. I think that if they wanted to make this women's title a little bit more exciting to then just having it as a singles match. I think adding Liv into the mixture as a triple threat between her, Raquel, and Rhea makes it a lot more entertaining than just Raquel and Rhea. I disagree. I think that the matches that Raquel and Rhea have put on were very good. It definitely showed Raquel's potential of being an absolute champion. Um, but I definitely want to see what is next after she's been away. Last night, she definitely showcased a lot of great talent and a lot of athleticism. I'm very excited to see what that comes of it. She also could be Jade Cargill's first opponent to get Jade working in Raw, especially if Jade signs to Raw, if they do go Liv Morgan winning Elimination Chamber and just having a singles match. But from the way that things were looking prior to Raquel leaving, I think that they might be having some eggs in the basket with Raquel winning, and Liv might be the one taking the final pin.
I can see something like that. And one thing I did remember is when Liv did get injured that day, she was supposed to face Rhea that night. So she was always supposed to have that match with Rhea Ripley, then she never got it. I think this is our way of finally getting that. I feel like if you do set up a triple threat, the only way this is going to make sense, Dylan, if you do have Raquel, Liv is going to turn heel. She's got to turn heel if that happens.
Well, she's already
Oh,
heel. I don't think she
okay.
needs to turn heel. She's already
I-
heel.
I
No,
just-
she's not really
run
a
now
heel.
has been
Not officially. I don't.
different.
Not
It's
officially,
different.
because like she
No,
would
her
literally.
run's very different from what she was prior. She's not the same person. Her character is different. Her image is different. Her move sets are different. It's not the same like bubbly watch me person anymore. She's not a baby face turning heel. She is a heel. Her promos alone are showing heel mentality. Her actions in the chamber are going to be heel mentality. She is going to attack Raquel and get her to be not the person to be at WrestleMania for Rhea Ripley's title. She's going to do that. She's going to do everything in her power to take down Tiffany Stratton and Bianca and Becky and Naomi. Absolutely. Her already is on this heel turn. We just haven't seen much of it because it's been one match since Liv has been back, a lot of promos, and just a different set of costumes and look. So now with Elimination Chamber coming Saturday, it is a different ball game. Liv is a different person. It's
Yeah.
not the same person that we saw. She's not a baby face at all. I wouldn't consider her that
She's
at
more of a
all in the
tweener right
slightest.
now. She's more of
No,
like an.
I wouldn't even say that. She's a heel. Watch how she
I
moves
don't
in the
know.
chamber.
Ain't no heel.
So my question to you, Dylan, and everybody in here, with this being her 5th time entering the chamber, do you think that plays into her odds of
No.
winning,
She's
or
not
no?
winning with.
No, I
keep telling
don't.
you
I
she's not
don't.
winning.
I don't.
Because at some
I,
point you gotta give her something.
No,
Like
you don't. Gotta
yeah,
give her
but you
anything.
could give her a Rumble win instead. The Chamber
She's
win
not
doesn't
winning the
make
Rumble. She's
it
not
doesn't
winning
really
the
make
Chamber.
or break a superstar. Honestly, the Rumble making or breaking is more important. Money in the Chamber, Money in the Bank is more important. You know, that I feel is a more of important opportunity for
She
Liv
already
to
won that at Cash
succeed
In. We saw
on.
how that played out.
Yeah, like
I
I
know
feel like
somebody.
I feel
Well,
like
that's because we kept pushing Ronda.
I know
feel like
somebody brought this to my attention.
I feel like, you know, Liv right now, even if she is the final three, it's her, Raquel, and let's say
Hell no,
Becky.
she's not gonna be in the final 3 over
You know,
Bianca or
then it's possibility of Raquel and Liv tag teaming together to take down Becky Lynch. So that way you do have Raquel and Liv as the final two. And I do think Raquel knows that Liv isn't the same person she once knew. So Liv is not the same. She's not at all the same. She's not a tweener. She's not anything. She is a heel. She's on her heel momentum. She's on her revenge tour. baby faces don't say revenge tour. Like, I've never heard John Cena babyface said a revenge tour,
Yeah,
like,
that's
ever in
true.
my life.
But at the
Like,
same
he's
time,
ready. She's ready for action. She's ready to be at WrestleMania, and it's time
agreed.
for her to make that statement. But with Raquel, there's a lot more on the line for her. Raquel was out. There was a match that was set up for Raquel, but unfortunately, due to illness, she had to back out of it. And now with Liv being injured as well, there was nothing for Rhea. That's why Rhea had the matches that she had and the momentum that she was having with the women's championship. Now with everything kind of back into play, Raquel, I truly feel could be that one to be the underdog here to actually beat a lot of these ladies and become your number one contender to face Rhea. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, but in the sense of lineup, don't you think they would still, even though she, like you said, she's a heel, but I think in the eyes of many, they always
She's a
would
baby
put
face.
Liv
Eli.
in that.
She's a
They will
baby
always
face.
put, they will always put Liv as that underdog. Because if you look at it, you got Bianca, you got Naomi, you
Tiffany's an
got.
underdog.
Well,
Naomi's
I
an
mean,
underdog.
but in a sense,
Bianca's an
you still
underdog.
look at
Becky's an
them.
underdog. All of these women are underdogs in some sense of the matter. It
Maybe
just because Liv has more of a connected story to Rhea that's been played out a lot more because Raquel's been out longer doesn't make her more of an underdog than any of the other ladies.
no, I wouldn't
The
say
only the
that.
only story that makes more sense that is the obvious answer is Liv beating everybody in the chamber, including Becky Lynch, to get her spot at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But now that Raquel is back, Raquel is that X factor that she probably didn't think of and now has to maneuver her whole game plan around. Raquel is going to be someone that eliminates two at least of these ladies to prove that she's back and she's ready for action. And one of them, or that for that third or possible fourth spot, is going to be Liv Morgan. There's a possibility here that Raquel and Becky could be your final two, and Raquel beats Liv, eliminating Liv prior to having the final two of Raquel and Becky, where Becky and Raquel could be the last two standing. And now it's a different ball game again, because now where do you put Liv? Liv now can be entered in a a last moment try tournament. She could enter and try
gosh,
to plead her
yes.
case for a triple threat opportunity. She could try to win a gauntlet match. There's still time for WrestleMania for Liv
yeah.
to be there. But if Raquel is coming out as dominant as she showcased last night, and as we know she has been, there is a good possibility Liv could be eliminated by her ex-tag team partner.
I would have, in me personally, I would say maybe the other way around because the way, even though I've seen what Raquel's been doing, I feel like it's a situation where maybe, in Raquel's mind, maybe she thinks that maybe her and Liv maybe might still be friends. We don't know. And that ends up costing her because Liv, she's going to do whatever, like you said, she's going to do whatever it takes to win this match. And to her, no friends. So she's going to do whatever it takes. I think she eliminates Raquel.
But
to
then
let
that
her know.
eliminates her being an underdog.
Exactly. Eliminate that she's no longer just that underdog that everybody overlooks. She wants that be that woman. And somebody even said maybe the final two is her and Becky. I don't think they would do this and have a double pin so both of them get the win, but I
Oh
don't
my
think that
gosh,
will
that
work
is
too well.
stupid. That
I
is
don't think
stupid.
that will work. I think Liv has her moment and she stamps it because if you really think of the people that she's got in the ring with, she has heat with Becky going back to day one. She's never got a win over Becky. She has heat with Bianca because she costed her the win on Friday Night SmackDown. That's a spoiler for you guys who do watch SmackDown. She's gonna have heat with pretty much Naomi because she got a win over Liv Morgan 2 years ago before she left. She's gonna have heat with pretty much with Tiffany Stratton because she got the win, and she's gonna have heat with Raquel because in her mind, she's pretty in her mind, if you like you said, she's a heel. She's back to try to steal her shine and steal her moment, and Liv is not gonna go for that. So now
like
she's gonna
AJ,
add her to the revenge tour.
AJ
All
towards
of these
LA
women were
Knight,
part of it.
because like AJ was mad at LA Knight for stepping over AJ because at least in kayfabe, LA Knight stepped over AJ's dead body, as he said, to get that title match with Roman Reigns. So
Well, we'll
could
see.
be
I mean,
similar.
I've only been telling you Becky and Rhea since probably Survivor Series because that's the biggest match you can do. I know we want Liv. You're not going to get Liv right now. Maybe a backlash, but you're not going to get Liv. She just came back. You think you're going to put Liv over Naomi who just came back? No. Over Bianca, who's there? She's always booked strong. No. I mean, I think Tiffany may even have a strong showing, but we'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be Becky and Rhea. I'm just telling you that.
You know what's something I'm noticing, Dylan? Ever since I've been on the part of the Flex Zone, I've never heard Byron once ever pick Liv to win a match.
Because it's not. I mean, what do we? I mean, we seen her. She won Money in the Bank. She got her moment, and she was booked
Yeah,
for-
but here's the thing: with a lot of wrestlers, their first reign is not always the best. There's been numerous accounts of that. She's not the only one.
She can't cut a promo. I mean, what am I investing in with Liv? She looks good.
Becky is. I'm gonna be honest. Like, how many
Let me
times
get
we
my-
got to keep seeing Becky getting? If you really think about it, Rhea, she beat Charlotte last year. What happened? Okay,
And
she
she's
beat
going to
her.
beat Becky. She's going to beat. she's
And
gonna
what
continue.
happened with what happened earlier? We just had Bailey win the Rumble, and now you're gonna give another horsewoman another opportunity to become a champion? No,
That's what they're going to do. That is
no,
exactly what they're
because
going to do.
there's. Let's be honest. There's nothing really to her and Rhea. Yeah. If you think of the money
this is the
aspect,
thing. If she
yeah.
wins the match, they still have
I've
a whole
said
2 months
it
to build
before.
up.
Like, if it is just Becky versus Rhea, that is easily the most lame women's match of
Yeah, because
WrestleMania,
there's
and I don't
nothing
need
to
to
it.
even know
It's
the
like
other matches.
it's from a money
It
aspect,
sucks.
yeah, and the
It
match
sucks.
is gonna
There's
be
nothing
good,
behind it.
but nobody's is gonna care because what? Rhea's gonna win. There's no way you put Becky
And,
over
and
Rhea.
it doesn't even like give a
Well,
WrestleMania moment. Like we
Rhea.
already know Rhea is not does not really have a chance to main event WrestleMania.
So why do you want Liv to win? Because she's not beating Rhea at WrestleMania either.
Yes, she is. Okay,
She
think
No,
about
can.
it.
no,
If you
hell
really
no.
think about
can.
this,
Hell
She
no.
really
look at all the
can. And she
tie-ins.
already did.
The night
She already
she got
beat Rhea.
injured, who was she supposed to face? Rhea Ripley. Do
And
I
she
think
was
she was
going
gonna
to
lose
lose,
that
I'm
match?
sure.
Was she probably gonna lose? Probably, yeah.
Yes.
Because
gonna
she was
lose.
champion. I'll give you that one, Byron. But
It
then
was a
what?
non-title
She
match
gets
anyway.
injured. But when she got injured, who stepped up in her place? Raquel did.
We saw
Raquel
Raquel
did.
get beat by Rhea.
And
That
what
match was
happened?
terrible.
Here's another thing.
Thing is,
When she got injured, where was it? What was the city that she got injured in? Tampa, Florida. And that's the same city she came back at the Rumble. There were some parallels there. So if you really think about it, because here's the thing with wrestling. Wrestling shouldn't really be all about the money. Unfortunately, in some cases it is. But wrestling should be about storytelling and emotion. Easily.
the thing
Does
is
Becky give me that? No.
with big matches, you can have big time matches if you actually build up for it. And the thing is, 2 months, less than 2 months, in 1 month and 1 week is not going to be enough to build up to
A
fully
2-year
build up
story.
Rhea versus Becky, because right now Becky versus Rhea has no story. They have four stare downs and an average promo from not even a good promo by Becky.
And Liv
Rhea
and
carried
Becky.
that promo more than
Yeah,
Becky.
let's be
It was-
honest.
It
And
was like
Liv and Rhea.
just a normal average.
They have a
Just
2-year
watch,
story.
Just watch that terrible segment last night with all of them in the ring.
It was like
Liv has a 2-year story, while Becky and Rhea barely even have a month.
4 stare downs.
And yet they still find some way to have that argument that barely a 1 month stare down is better than a 2-year story. Disgusting.
I'm
fickle
I'm
fans.
fine with
That's
Becky
crass.
versus Rhea if they actually build to it. Right now, there's nothing.
We gotta wait.
There's nothing
She's gonna
behind
win. They're
it.
gonna build to it.
They have 2 years already with Liv Morgan.
I'm telling you this now.
And Liv already beat Liv. Liv already beat Rhea twice. Not
Yeah,
once.
she was the last one to do it. So why not have it?
And Rhea twice. Since Rhea joined the Judgment Day.
Exactly. She was the whole reason why Rhea just joined Judgment anyway. So it makes sense. They were the first and final two. She got turned on. And Liv even said it herself.
Like I said, don't worry, they
The
could do it at
story's
thing
Backlash.
flipping.
is, even
And then when Rhea
the
beats
thing
Liv
Why
at
is,
Backlash, you're
Backlash?
gonna be
Why
mad
do you
about
I'll
have
be
her?
honest.
My thing is, why are
Even
you
because that is
gonna
a
make
B
Liv
level
have
pay
a
per
B
view
level
main
instead of
event.
an
That
A
is not a
level?
main event.
But
That is not a main event. That is not a
But
main
it's not
event.
gonna be
main
a
event.
main event
Byron,
either.
Becky versus Rhea is not main eventing Mania.
Yes, it is.
No,
It is
it's
two of the
not.
biggest
It's
women in the
not.
company.
It's not
It
You're
is.
literally
happening.
They
gonna
never
have Rock
faced
and
It's not
Roman on night
happening.
one and not Seth, but
Triple
Cody
H
and
had
Roman on night
said
two.
last year the reason why Charlotte versus Rhea did not main event and the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sammy did is because the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sammy had more of a story than Charlotte versus Rhea. That is the only
He
reason.
cared.
Only
Triple
reason.
H.
Otherwise,
Now,
Charlotte versus Rhea would have main
If
event.
you think Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is going to be a better match than Rhea Ripley and
Bailey and Io is
how you
probably
feel
going to main
about
event
Becky or Rhea?
more
That is going to
than
be a better
Rhea
match.
versus Becky.
I'm telling you this. Here's my thing, Byron. Yes, I get it, but think about it like this: if you really think about it, Becky's done everything. What does her being in another main event, high profile spot do for her? If she wins, what does that do?
She's
Absolutely
not even
nothing.
main eventing.
Listen,
She's not main eventing over Bailey
it
and
creates a
Io.
little bit of unpredictability because they could give it to Becky, but they could have Rhea run. If you have Rhea and Liv, we know Liv's not beating Rhea, especially at WrestleMania. And when Liv
No,
came
could
out
have.
yesterday, this is exactly what I heard when she came out yesterday.
Okay.
Most of those
Another
women in
Liv
that
hater.
segment.
Listen,
But if
listen,
you think they're
Byron,
going to
the
put Liv
thing
over
is,
Naomi,
Rhea's not
who
main
just came
eventing
back,
WrestleMania.
or
She's
Bianca,
not. No matter if
Bianca,
she
who has a
wins,
show on Hulu called Love in WWE. If you think Liv is beating Bianca, no. If you think she's beating Naomi, who just came back, who left because of bad creative, no. You think she's going to beat Raquel? No. Only person
well,
she
they
may
could
pin is
go
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany versus Naomi. They could have
And
Tiffany.
honestly,
And here's
I'm taking
another
Tiffany
thing.
Stratton over Liv more.
And here's another thing,
No.
Byron. If you probably would get away with doing
She's better in
Becky
the
and
ring. She looks better.
She's not that like
my thing is
crazy.
this is Byron. If this was in a quote unquote Vince
Her mic
era,
is
yes,
also
they probably
not
would get
the
away
best.
with doing Rhea and Becky. But this is Triple H. He doesn't care about really the money matches. He cares about story. What's gonna be the better story?
The
Is it
thing
Becky
is,
and Rhea? Heck no.
the thing is,
That is a Monday Night Raw
honestly,
main event.
even if Rhea beats Liv, it is a better look. It is like more. It was worth more like watching that moment play out over Rhea versus Becky, because like if we get Rhea versus Becky, Rhea wins, people will just move on. No one will be like,
Exactly.
okay,
People are just
another
gonna move on, like,
match,
okay, she
another
beat another
win
horse
for
woman.
Rhea.
That's it.
But like, if Rhea beats Liv, that's going to crush Liv Morgan. That's like we're getting.
Why do the match?
That's gonna be like basically how
But why would
Cody
you
looked
Why would you
last
put that
year
match
after
on
the
a
match.
B-level pay-per-view? Like,
That is
why
like
would you?
that.
Why would you put that on
Either you have Liv get her big victory, or you give her a crushing defeat. Like that is what WrestleMania is for.
WrestleMania do the biggest matches that you can do, and that is the
But
biggest
why
match.
put that
They've
match on
never
a
matched.
B-level
not
pay-per-view?
always.
We've seen. You just said it right. We've seen Liv and Rhea go at it, right? We haven't seen Rhea and Becky, regardless.
We
of how
never
you feel about
seen.
it.
We never.
That
What
is
we
going to be a
see.
better
There's
match.
nothing
We
behind
literally
Rhea
seen.
versus Becky.
We literally seen these
It's
women.
nothing.
Pretty much, we seen Raquel and Rhea at a pay-per-view. We never seen Liv and Rhea at a pay-per-view. Why would you put that match with that 2-year
Yeah, and
build
you'll
on
see
a
it at
B-level
Backlash.
pay-per-view?
Because
Why would you
you'll
do
see it
that
at Backlash.
when you
We'll
can get
see it
more
in Backlash,
mileage
Byron.
out of a potential win at a Mania?
And Liv just came back. You want her losing already in her second or third match back?
She's
I'm just
This
saying.
is her story we're talking about
win.
here.
So she goes against Rhea. She's losing because Rhea's not losing that belt.
She's
Then what?
no,
She's
Rhea's
what
not
do you do?
losing
that belt.
because both women are taking time off after Mania. Becky's taking time off with her book,
They've been
and
saying that
then
for years about everybody. She can
and
win
Rhea,
the title.
she's taking time off after Mania to get married to Buddy Matthews.
Okay,
So
she can keep
neither
the
of
belt
them are
on.
going to be after that after Mania.
Yeah, no, there's no need to keep
Dylan,
the
what was the
on
last
Rhea.
word? I know you just been sitting back. Eating your popcorn.
I got Raquel.
Of course he would.
You know.
He hates Liv Morgan. We
I
know
mean,
that.
I don't hate her.
I'd be
No.
honestly,
Here's the thing. I
I'd
don't
be more
hate the
interested
girl.
in what's it called, Raquel versus Israel than Becky versus Rhea.
I don't hate
There's
Liv Morgan.
there's
That's
more.
not at all the truth.
There's more.
I
like,
think if Raquel wasn't in this picture,
right now they have nothing.
Liv was the best choice
She's still
because
can.
of Raquel is now in the picture. You now add a different factor. That's it.
That-
That's all I'm saying.
honestly, that's why I love this chamber match. This
Becky,
chamber
yes.
match
Listen,
can go
hold
anywhere.
on. Becky, yeah, there's a possibility she could win it. Same with Bianca. Same with Liv. Hell, they could throw us a fucking curveball and give us Tiffany, okay, and or Naomi winning this match. Will they? Maybe. I have no idea. But if I had to put my eggs in a basket, yeah, the safer choice, it would seem, because of the story, Liv Morgan. But now with the fact that Raquel is in the mix and they already were setting up another match with Rhea, and the other two weren't bad, they were good, they both showcased both of the women, there is a possibility that they could give this to Raquel and have Raquel and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. But to Byron's point, in some sense, yeah, Becky Lynch is a top-tier superstar. Same with Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan is definitely top-tier material, but she's not bigger than Becky. So if they did want to give her a curve, yeah, they could possibly throw us Becky versus Rhea. Whether there's a story, whether there's a build-up, whether there's whatever, money's going to talk before any of our opinions actually matter. And there's a possibility they could do it. There's also a possibility they could do Bianca versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania because Bianca has a TV show on Hulu. That's, you know what I mean? Like, there's a possibility they could give it to Naomi because she was an amazing TNA Women's Champion and now back in WWE. They could give it to Liv because of the story. They could give it to Tiffany because they want to give us a curveball and something new, which would be a hot story. Wait a second. This girl who was hot in NXT, who was Women's Champion, now back in the WWE, now in the main roster of WWE, give her an opportunity. Will she win? Probably not. She's not going to beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, but at least we'll get something interesting and fresh. Absolutely. Same with Naomi. Do I think she'd beat Rhea Ripley? No. Do I think Bianca could beat Rhea Ripley? 50-50. Same with Becky. Same with Liv. There is a possibility Liv could beat Rhea. There's also a possibility that Liv could be beaten by Rhea. And if so, there's going to be a lot of people that are upset that Liv didn't get her spotlight as champion at WrestleMania and that she might have to wait a few more weeks till Backlash, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. Even if they don't do Liv and Rhea at WrestleMania because they decide to do Raquel or Becky or Bianca or Tiffany or Naomi because it's more money, then Liv gets her opportunity at Backlash. It's not that big of a deal. Of course, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, Liv deserves it. She has the story. It's been 2 years. She's the only one that's beaten Rhea Ripley. She deserves this spotlight. She's on this revenge tour. She's been doing well. She's only had one match, mind you. Her next match is a tape match on Friday, which she loses from Bianca Belair. That doesn't look good going into the next day as going into an Elimination Chamber match, with the possibility of her winning an opportunity at WrestleMania, in my opinion. It makes Bianca look a little more stronger than Becky, then Liv, then Tiffany, then Naomi, and Raquel. So
Well,
there
Tiffany's
is
the one that
many,
pinned her.
there's what?
Well, Tiffany's the one that pinned her because Bianca got an
So,
interference.
but then that makes Tiffany look stronger than Liv going into this match with Liv Morgan and a lot more that's riding on Liv Morgan's story. So what I'm saying is, yeah, there's a possibility 100% that Liv could outshine everybody. She could eliminate Tiffany first, beat Bianca, have a great match with Becky, eliminate Naomi, Raquel and her could be the final two. Raquel could beat Liv. Liv could beat Raquel. Who knows? I'm saying Raquel could be our surprise woman
See?
to beat
There you go.
to beat
Look at that comment.
to beat Liv Morgan at the final three and Becky and have it be Raquel and Rhea Ripley. Do I think Raquel's going to win it at WrestleMania? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be that kind and be like, oh, yeah, Raquel, you're back. Let's give you the title now after all of this time. No.
And plus,
the better choice would be someone like Becky. Yeah, has she done it all? Absolutely. She's done it all. She's two-time Grand Slam champion. She's been everyone. She's the man. She has a book coming out. But that, again, is good publicity. Why do you think they gave Logan Paul the United States Championship? He has a big podcast, a big set of brand new viewers. Money will talk over any of us. So there is a possibility that it could be Becky because of the fact that she has a book coming out. Could be Bianca because she has a Hulu show out. It could be Naomi because she was an amazing TNA Women's Champion. It could be Tiffany because they want to throw us a fun curve. It could be Raquel because she just came back and they were supposed to give us this third match anyway. So let's give it to her at WrestleMania. It also could be Liv because of the story. But yeah, I don't 100% know. I don't think any of us 100% know what's going to happen here. That's why it's fun. But my choice is Raquel. I think Raquel, now her added to the mix, was winning this chamber. If Mia Yim, Chelsea Green, Zoe Stark, or Shayna Baszler, I would probably pick Liv. Maybe not so much Zoe,
I actually did want
or
Chelsea
Raquel
Green.
or
I actually
Shayna.
did
But
want
My
Chelsea
thing
Green.
is if they do set up a triple threat, like even though you see,
right, and that's also a possibility. Raquel could beat Liv at this chamber, right? Then it's Raquel at WrestleMania with Rhea Ripley. Liv goes backstage to Adam Pearce, goes, I want my shot back. It was nonsense. I got screwed because this, that, and the third, whatever. Fights for 2 weeks, gets her opportunity, wins this like 3 matches going into WrestleMania, gets her opportunity to make it a triple threat match because Rhea Ripley goes, who cares about you? We don't care about your story. Makes a whole big promo about it, making her even more hyped for her to add more of a fun factor to a triple threat opportunity. And then we throw Liv in the mix where it's Raquel, Liv, ex-tag team partners going after ex-tag team partners, Liv and Rhea. But now all 3 of them are going after one title. Do you beat Rhea? And who is it? Yeah, it could be Liv. It also could be Raquel. Or it could be Rhea winning again. So I don't know. There are a lot of possibilities here. But WWE is notorious for doing things like pulling a Becky, pulling a Bianca first because of the money, the fact that they have TV shows, because they got a book coming out, because they're, got a baby, they got a press tour, they got a comic, whatever the hell. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because to them, if Becky wins, it gives Becky more publicity to sell her book. She's now champion, so she's walking around public with the championship belt. Same with Bianca. Same with Naomi. We all remember Naomi is an amazing TNA champion. But
Agreed.
Raquel, in my opinion, is the better candidate here because Liv and Raquel could be facing each other yet again at WrestleMania with Rhea Ripley. But there is a possibility we really could see Becky and Rhea.
my thing, like you said, like with the whole triple threat idea, I think like even though you consider like Liv a heel, she would have to go full on heel, like have
But
a
she
steel
is a
chair
heel.
attack. No, I'm
She
saying
is a heel. She's
But
not
she-
a baby face.
She's a
No,
baby
There's
face,
nothing
though.
about her that's baby face now.
She is a baby face, though.
I would say she's more on the heel side, but she still kind of gets cheers here and there to an extent or
She
Yeah,
whatnot.
gets
because
cheered.
there's
She gets
fans.
cheered because you got shills at home who have the
But
lotion
my thing
bottles
is
next to
this:
the
she
computer.
would have to go
And,
full,
like,
like in the eyes of the fans, right, Dylan? Like
To be
it might be
fair-
to us, she's a heel, but to them, they might see her as a face. But she needs to go full blown heel mode, attack either Raquel with the chair on Raw, and said, "You took my opportunity from me. That should have been my spot, and you screwed it over for me." And then maybe
possible.
or maybe she even gets her get back with Rhea because she attacked her and with the chair. She finds Rhea somewhere.
They
and attacks
also
her
could
with the
do
chair.
Raquel versus Liv. Winner gets a WrestleMania spot, and Raquel
or
could
like
beat her.
or like Liv challenges Raquel and Raquel puts her spot on the line.
Yeah,
I hate
and
that.
Raquel beats her, or Liv
Wolf,
wins.
I'll give you the last word. Wolf. Last
I mean,
word.
honestly, there's a lot of things they could do. I wouldn't say. I think as of right now, Liv isn't officially a heel. Yes, she seems kind of heelish, but I think they need to like actually have her do something that officially turns her heel in the eyes of the audience, of everyone, basically just cement that heel turn, and then maybe turn Rhea face. And but I don't know, there's a lot of ways they could go for this, and honestly that's why I'm actually excited for this the chamber match. This could go anyway. I think it'll be fun to watch, especially since they're all good talent.
Well, that is pretty much all we got. Unless you guys got anything else, I don't want to leave anybody without anything getting off their chest before the big show on Saturday. I want to go around and get everybody's YouTube, any social media they want to plug, I'll put your channels up on the actual screen. And you can let us know what you got going on this week. I know we got some live streams. Some of us will be live for Elimination Chamber. Wolf, I'll start with you, man. Let the people know how to keep up with you and where you'll be this weekend. Or are you watching Chamber or any other content you want to plug?
I have not figured that out. I'll probably figure that out the night of. But unlikely given the fact I will be watching No Surrender with these boys. And I will probably need sleep. So I don't know. It's unlikely I watch Elimination Chamber live. Maybe I can try staying up, but I really don't know. We'll see what happens.
And what people know?
Oh.
He froze, I believe.
Wolf.
Oh.
He froze. His Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Wolf, let them know your channel real quick.
Oh yeah, my channel is Will Ferris. I mostly do watch-alongs with Dylan and Leo, and it's most of my content. I do have a couple personal things, but not often. Sometimes I do NXT pay-per-view watch-alongs, but otherwise not much else. Yeah.
Leo, you're going to be streaming for 24 hours. Is that true? Or how many hours?
12 hours actually. 12 hours. I will be streaming tomorrow for Dynamite. I know that's coming out tomorrow. I got some more videos coming out this week, Thursday. Predictions on Dylan's channel, so I'm excited for that as well. Friday, we're not going to be doing SmackDown Rampage, but we will be doing No Surrender, which I will be live streaming on my channel. And then from there, I will be streaming from No Surrender all the way till Chamber, and we'll be doing the press conference as well. So pretty much a 12-hour stream, so to speak. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very, very excited for that. I'm looking forward to bringing it to you guys.
And last but certainly not least, Long Island's Tribal Chief, New York's #1 podcast, not just Long Island anymore. It is the one, the only, Dylan. What's up, my brother? As you get acknowledged over there.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge me.
There it is. Rachel Reigns finally acknowledges me. I'm happy about that. But no, yeah, like Leo and Wolf were saying, tomorrow night is AEW Dynamite over on Last Week in Wrestling podcast, as well as Thursday we're going to be doing predictions for Elimination Chamber. Plus Friday is going to be No Surrender watch along, and then that is right, we are going to be doing a live watch along of Elimination Chamber. A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. I'm going to bring a lot of tissues for Leo possibly, and a whole lot more because God only knows how this show is going to be for all of us here. But definitely make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, post notifications on as well. But make sure you hit up Big B over here, Byron, one of the greatest hosts of all time, God's favorite on the Flex Zone. They do a lot of great things. So definitely make sure we hit him with some love as well.
Appreciate it. And we'll be doing it next week for AEW? You want to let the people know about that?
Yeah, so we're doing another one of these. Who booked it? With AEW Revolution, and of course Asa and Kay will be the hosts over on No Bones About Wrestling. They are going to be the hosts of that show because that week is all about Revolution. Since that is going to be the last week I will be doing any type of content that Thursday, because that Friday your boy is in NC until the 4th. I will be at Revolution live worldwide, baby. I'm worldwide.
Love to see it. We'll definitely talk more about that as Dylan will be live for Revolution, Sting's last match. And we'll see how the Dynamite card does take shape tomorrow with AEW. And I believe, don't quote me on this, we may see Will Ospreay tomorrow. Just breaking some news to you.
Possible.
Out there. We may see some Ospreay tomorrow. And to the Ricochet point, he is a free agent this year, guys. So keep an eye on what his contract status is. I haven't seen him on TV in a while, so I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do. His wife is Samantha Irvin, so that dynamic as well. So we'll see. A lot of big things coming in 2024. We're going to keep booking these shows. We're going to keep watching these shows. Check out Wolf. Check out Leo. And, of course, check out Dylan on the Last Week Wrestling podcast. And, of course, here on the Flex Zone podcast, we do all types of content. Wrestling, sports. I'll have some type of Elimination Chamber previews out tomorrow. Was going to be today, but it didn't work out. But we'll have them out tomorrow. We'll be breaking down each match and telling you who I think will win. And coming soon, some 2K24 content, which will all be a part of as well, as that game is getting ready to come out as well. So for Wolf, Leo, and my boy Dylan, Thank you, everybody in the chat. I want to shout everybody out. Shout out to Tina. Big shout out to Eric. Big shout out to Elvis. Big shout out to Avery. Big shout out to Wrestling Bitch 29. And all of the above. Everybody, thank you guys for watching. Even if you watched for 5 minutes, 5 seconds, appreciate it. Can't do this without you. For Dylan, Leo, and Wolf, God's favorite host, signing off. We'll be live tomorrow on Last Week of Wrestling for AEW Dynamite. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.
Peace.